The more available you are to people, the less they start to value you. The more you forgive, the less careful they become with you. And the more you show up for them, the less they feel the need to show up for you. Now here's the painful part. Most of the time, you didn't do anything wrong. You were just being kind, loyal, understanding. You were simply being yourself. But there's a psychological rule that quietly changes how people treat you. And once you understand it, you will start seeing relationships very differently. Welcome to the Human Files. This is where we break down how people think, behave, and make the decisions they do. And today, we're talking about something many people experience, but very few people understand. Why the people who give the most often get valued the least. Think about a situation you may have experienced before. You meet someone. At the beginning, everything feels balanced. They text you, they make time for you, they put in effort, but slowly something changes. You start being the one who always replies quickly. You start adjusting your schedule for them. You forgive things easily just to keep the peace. You give them another chance, and another one, and another one. But over time, their behavior shifts. They reply slower. They cancel plans more easily. They stop putting in the same effort they did at the beginning. And then a question starts forming in your mind. Did I do something wrong? Should I give more? Should I try harder? But the real reason this happens has very little to do with you as a person. It has to do with how the human brain assigns value. The first psychological principle. Your brain naturally values things that feel rare. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone gives you 2 jars of cookies. One jar has 10 cookies. The other jar has only 2 cookies. Even if the cookies taste exactly the same, most people automatically believe the jar with only 2 cookies is more valuable. Why? Because there are fewer of them. Our brains are wired to see scarcity as value. And the same thing happens with people. When someone knows that you will always be there, no matter what, your presence slowly starts to feel guaranteed. And guaranteed things are things people stop working hard to keep. The second psychological principle. There is another powerful force in human psychology. People tend to want things more when they feel like they might lose them. Think about the last time someone suddenly became distant from you. Maybe they stopped replying the same way. Maybe they became less available. Suddenly, you started thinking about them more. You became more aware of how much they mattered. That reaction is not random. Your brain sensed the possibility of loss. And when the brain senses loss, it automatically increases the value of that person. But when someone believes they can never lose you, that sense of urgency disappears.
There is also something deeper happening. The way people treat you is often influenced by the signals you send about your own value. If you constantly accept poor treatment, if you forgive everything immediately, if you keep showing up for people who never show up for you, you may unknowingly be sending a message that says, I will stay no matter how I'm treated. Most people don't think about this consciously, but they feel it, and they respond to it. What most people get wrong. Now here is something important. Setting boundaries does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean pushing people away. Boundaries simply mean respecting yourself enough to know what you will and will not accept. When you have standards for how people treat you, something interesting happens. People begin to see your value more clearly, because now your presence is no longer guaranteed, and people naturally protect things they feel they could lose. Here is the real solution. So what should you actually do? The answer is not to play games, and it's not about pretending to be someone you're not. The real solution is much simpler. Start taking yourself seriously.
If something doesn't sit right with you, say it calmly. If someone constantly takes from you without giving back, stop giving so much. If someone shows you that your presence is not a priority, stop making them the center of your life. Not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Because here is the truth most people eventually learn. You cannot convince someone to value you with words. Real value is shown through how you treat yourself. And the moment you start respecting your own time, energy, and presence, the people around you will feel that shift. Some will rise to meet that new standard, and the ones who don't were never meant to stay in your life. Either way, you win.
And that's the psychological truth many people discover too late. If this video made you see something in your life a little differently, then you're already ahead of most people. Subscribe to the Human Files, because next week we're diving even deeper into how human behavior really works. And trust me, the next one will change the way you see people forever.